Good evening. We have a political crisis, the likes of which I've certainly never seen in my lifetime. An economic crisis that is not going away quickly. A social crisis that grows worse with every single week. And all of this after 12 years of Tory misrule. Think about the economy. Low growth, low productivity. Can you believe our productivity is 20% lower than that of France? It seems almost impossible. Asset inflation, which means because of quantitative easing over the last few years, if you own property, you've done well. But if you want to get onto the housing ladder, sorry, that's not for you. Taxes, after today, going up to levels last seen in 1950 during that post-war socialist experiment. And of course, the cost of living crisis linked directly to energy, where we have, I think, the most stupid self-inflicted wound we could ever have caused ourselves. We have more than enough oil, gas and coal to keep this country going. But no, we've gone for wind. And just to add to it, the Conservative Party in 2017 actually got rid of our gas storage facilities. And really, with the turbulence in the markets over the course of the last few weeks, the truth of it is the energy price cap that is the real problem, not relatively limited cuts in some areas of tax, even if it was badly delivered. And be in no doubt from Jeremy Hunt today that the Tories have declared war on the self-employed. Now, I really do mean it. The IR35 rules are so awful, such a complete disaster, that many people have simply, in their mid-50s, just packed up working. And for small companies, their taxes are going to rise significantly. A major rise in corporation tax and a rise in dividend tax, which is how many small businesses pay themselves. Well, they were elected, of course, to get Brexit done, and they did, perhaps after a fashion, but I wonder whether they actually ever really believed in it, because it's not being completed. Northern Ireland still cut off from the rest of the UK. Fisheries betrayed. Cuts to regulations, supply-side reforms, which simply didn't happen. And, of course, we're still stuck in the European Convention on Human Rights. Immigration, I'm afraid, legal immigration going up to new high levels. Can you believe it? Our population has risen by 10 million since the year 2000, and most of that down directly to immigration. And when it comes to the Channel, now 75,000 have crossed the Channel since 2018. 70,000 of them males. That's more than the fighting strength of the British Army, and still they come. And just last week, Border Force said there are significant risks to our national security because of who is coming. Law and order, well, I'm afraid breaking down in such a way that many of us now simply don't even bother to report crime, and people are fleeing our big cities. But it's okay, because Jeremy Hunt has come to the rescue. The man who was beaten by Boris Johnson in 2019, the man who was knocked out in the first round of the leadership contest this year, and he is not just Chancellor of the Exchequer, he's running the country. It looks to me like a globalist coup. Oh, I have to say Joe Biden was so delighted. The IMF are pleased, the OECD, the Bank of England, the Treasury, the Chancellor of Germany, they're all over the moon. You see, they want a bigger state with bigger taxes, and that was the great sin of what was proposed by Kwarteng. The idea that we should keep more of our own money and perhaps in time reduce the size of a state. I felt the statement that was made today would have been just the same had it come from a Labour Chancellor of the Exchequer. And by turning their backs on the self-employed and small businesses in the way that they have, by turning away from free markets, by making us as uncompetitive for investment as they are, I believe that the Tory party now serves no real purpose and must be replaced. I honestly don't for one moment believe they can get back ever to what they were. I believe the Tory party is now dead. So you tell me, is there any point to this Conservative party? Farage at gbnews.uk.